What's the next one? Nah, I don't like this one. I don't like that one either. I don't like that one. Ooh, shit. I didn't even know y'all was gonna be here. I was cleaning. Phone must have cut on itself. TikTok doing its own thing. Obviously, TikTok is getting likes the content. So good morning. Prepared but not prepared because I was talking to myself. Let's go there. Florida man. I don't have any mod issues. I have no mod issues. Have no mod issues. Please do not say that. We have no issues over here. All my mods are out of the mess. They don't be in Discord. They don't be in Discord or no place that folks. Why you treat me do bad would be fitting. I don't know. What? You don't know Maxwell? Are you serious? You don't know Maxwell? You don't know Maxwell? Oh my God, you don't know Maxwell? For real? You don't know Maxwell? Wow. Wow, as much different music that I listen to. Wow. I listen to a variety of music. Wow. I listen to a variety of music. Wow. And you don't know Maxwell, and I listen to so much. Wow. Wow. You gotta start opening up your ears to a variety of music. Wow. Do you know DJ Jungle? Wow. Do you know what's Thomas? Do you know what's Thomas? Wow. Wow. For real? Y'all don't listen to a variety of music?
Contaré la historia de una famosa persona.
For real?
Todos la conocen con el apodo de.
Y'all don't listen to a variety?
Todos la conocen con el apodo de.
Arthur Proskas from Russia? Arthur Proskas from Russia? Come on, don't tell me y'all not listen to a variety of music. Come on. Please do not tell me you not listen to a variety. about Blackpink? What about Blackpink from Korea? What about Blackpink? What? What about Blackpink? What about Blackpink? Lord Jesus. Lord. Come on. Come on. Please tell me you. Please. Please tell me your eye. What? Hold on. This birthday song goes out to you. This it's lagging. It's lagging. They violated me. They violated me. Said it was hate speech. Y'all more than welcome to come back in the box. They violated me, talking about it was hate speech. They violated me. You're more than welcome. No, I ended the live. You're more than welcome to come back in the box. They violated, saying it was hate speech. They violated me.
I got one too.
Oh, you got it too? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I closed that fast. I ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna need their account.
Yeah, that was me. I got nannered like completely. I just submitted appeal and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
they flagged me for hate speech because they can't
oh.
handle the truth. They're sitting in here. I literally think that's like Florida Man and all them on those fake accounts that are coming in here and trolling. Like he does it. People have talked about how he does it, and
It is, and then we gotta watch our words too, because when we get to talk about racial and politics and things like that, they do flag you. So, but what we were saying was very PG-13. So there's definitely somebody hating. There's definitely.
Can I say one thing? I just need to come up and say, listening to you guys talk, even though I was raised by a black family in foster care, I'm Italian. It wasn't until I ran a homeless shelter during the George Floyd, and I was like, don't go out there, don't put your hands in your pocket, don't put, I was that I left the job because I was like, these are like my I can't imagine. I I could never imagine, but these hundreds and hundreds of boys coming out of foster care that I was working with, I'm like, please don't go out there. Please take a camera. I can't imagine what mothers feel like every single day because that was just when I was at work. I can't. Oh,
Exactly. That's why we gotta stick together. Like the people think it's something wrong with sticking together. Like,
mm-mm.
why can't we stick together? Why does it have to be division? Why can't everybody just come together, love on each other? Life too short. We
It
see what goes
is.
on every day. But
You know,
we come on TikTok. I think a lot of us come on here, for the entertainment and fun, but for out of the other things that go on, like, come on, y'all. Life too short. Like, why we can't just come together? If all of us come together, it'll be so much better.
my bulk of career is social work, and I have only worked in underserved communities. And right now, I've switched my job to working in Wayne County, so I work in Detroit. I do outreach. I reach out to the women in the street, try to get them help. We try, whatever we can do, get them services. I work with a community mental health organization, so we deal with the worst of the worst.
And thank you for doing that. We
I will
really appreciate
continue.
you for advocating and doing that. That's something big. Thank you.
But I just have to say, if a black woman hadn't taken me in, I don't know where I would be. And I will say that, I will scream that from the rooftops. Miss Anita took care of me. She told me, baby, you ain't gonna fail. You're not gonna fail. I'm not gonna let you fail. Your parents let you down, your grandparents let you down, and I won't. And you know what? When I was in them streets doing drugs, thinking I was fast, she picked my butt up, put me in that house, and said, "Nuh-uh, we ain't playing. Nope." And
Exactly. Love on your people. Like, some of us
mm-mm,
was actually raised on love. Like, some of
right.
us actually got love when we was raised. Our parents loved us. Our family people loved us. They say it take a village to raise, and that's true. For a
I
long
mean,
time, I had to understand what that meant, but it's true. It takes a village. Like, if we all come together, we'll be successful.
we didn't know as young children that there was, we were any different, but we learned because we learned that if the cops come in the neighborhood, they're not searching me because I look like me. So I held all the bad things while they was getting pushed against fences. We learned that. We saw that.
Exactly.
I was
Exactly.
traumatized by that. My bias when I did my implicit bias was towards white, Caucasian males. Like 100%. They scare me. It scares me. I'm working through that, but I some of us have been through some stuff that we have to respect other races because they picked us up. You picked me up. You clothed me. You fed me. Come on now.
And
Come
at the
on.
end of the day, we human. We all human.
Yes.
We are all human. If
You
I if I,
just.
if my skin tone was green and I walked around, like, people would still love me. So
Yep.
I'm just trying to see what it is. And another thing I want to touch on, I'm glad that you said what you said, Vic. You actually said the word black. I was in a space and they were debating, and they were saying that if a white person say black, that they're colorist or they're racist. That was the most dumbest thing that I had ever heard in my life. We have people on this app actually on debate talk that's pushing this rhetoric to make white people think that if they say the word black that they're racist or they're colorist. Like, what? I don't understand what they're supposed to say. Like, we are black. I mean,
If I
they
said
want, and
if
I
I
see a
said
lot of
African
y'all have
American
to. I
to
see a
Miss
lot of y'all have to
Anita,
fight on it.
honey, if I said African American to Miss Anita, she'd smack you upside the head. She'd be like, "I'm black." Like, but that's how we
Exactly.
was raised.
Exactly. Exactly. And I've
But
been actually hearing that on debate talk lately. I was in a live, and one of the girls was telling the white lady that she was like, "You called us black," and she got to going and saying all type of other negative things to the lady, and I was disgusted. I was like,
right.
"What are they?" I had to call my mom and ask her. I'm like, "Is this something that I'm missing?" Because this got to be internet talk. Because in real life, come on now.
And I've asked my clients, because I work with my social work clients, I'm like, what would you prefer me to, what do you want me to say? Because I have no place to pick that for them.
Exactly. What could you say? Brown, chocolate? Yeah,
Yeah.
like what else could you say? You're either black or you're white. Like I'm not the verbiage. Like they're pushing this rhetoric now. There is races and this and that, but I'm here to tell you all, my cousins, black is black. We black.
I, I
I mean,
mean,
I mean
yeah.
that. I just want to interject.
How do you feel, Pastor?
That is a rhetoric that is taught to separate, and I just want to be an American instead of black, white. I just
Amen.
because black
Agree.
is a color, white is a color, and I don't see you as my skin's brown.
Mm-hmm.
I believe your skin's brown. I believe anybody with melanin in their skin, they have pigmentation that makes them pink or a little bit more tanner, and they are not white. That is used in educational purposes as a way for white to give the power to white, and then if you are black, you are then, if we use the dictionary and look up the word black, you are supposed to be a demon or in a dark place. And if we don't use those terms, we are putting each other down in a certain way. So I don't like to call anybody uh, white. I like to say European descendant for the reason of the power aspect, and I don't like to call anybody black because of as a you don't look that you don't look demonic to me. So I don't like using terms that separate us. If we are going to rock with each other as Americans, we can talk about each other's heritage and where we
Yeah.
come from, but to mislabel each other was definitely a separation tool.
It,
And
and
I
working
agree.
in social work, we do it all the time. We got to ask, what would you prefer? What I pick other all the time because I'm Italian and they don't give me an option, so I'm not pick. Anyway, we're not gonna go down that road. But um, we have to ask all these questions, and sometimes I'm like, goodness, are we really having good conversations with people if we're asking all of these questions that really have no, they're not helping it. We need to talk. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter what you look like, who you are. I don't know who you are when you call for services. I don't care. I'm going to help you. That's the thing.
I'm
And,
so glad Pastor said what he said because he really summed it up in all the terms and everything that needed to be said. Like he definitely, thank you for that,
girl,
Pastor. Like you really came through with that.
I,
Thank
I
you.
was dying before he went off because I wanted to be
Thank you.
like, I wanted to say to all the melanated mamas, I only experience what you experience every single time your child goes out that door. And I still cry about it. I still am terrified, terrified.
And the
And
fact
I
of
still
the
do it to clients now. I'm like, don't wear a hoodie. Don't put your head up. Don't, put your hands in the air. We shouldn't have to do that.
We shouldn't because just in my opinion, I just think like we were all born with the name. We weren't born with the name black, white, da da da. So
Yeah.
I would rather address people about who they are anyway. I'm like Pastor. That doesn't mean anything to me. Cause
Right,
like I
right.
said, we human, and I seen somebody in the comments say we all bleed red and agree, cause
We
we
do.
all do. At the
Well,
end of
I
the
will go
day,
down now, but I just want y'all to know, y'all, I'm here. I'm present. I'm in this because this is the conversations I want to have. I don't I don't want to be in these groups having these back and forth because it's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. So I'm just gonna stay here
be
now with
positive.
y'all.
Hey, Lauren, you okay down there?
Lauren,
Were
I
you
you
trying
would
to say
good?
something? I'm
Oh,
sorry,
wait.
girl.
I would
I'm
like to
sorry.
actually, since we're in educational space, I didn't never think we would ever be in an
Mama
educational.
Joanne, Mama
I would
Joanne.
like to play for you Mrs. Jane Elliott. In 1968, when 1963, I believe, or 68, with her classroom of students when it was not allowed to have people of color in her classroom. She did a test with dolls with her students to show how easy it is to influence younger people with making them separate as well. She considers herself a melanated person in all aspects of her European descent. She is very understanding, and she was on the Karen Hunter show. I love me some Karen Hunter. If you listen to Sirius XM, channel 126. So let's listen to Miss Jane Elliott with the brown-eyed, blue-eyed test is what she did. Let me play it for you.
Teaching third grade in Riceville, Iowa. I walked into my house. The telephone was ringing. I answered the telephone. My sister said, "Is your television on?" I said, "No." She said, "You better turn it on." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because they shot him." I said, "Who did we shoot this time?" And she said, "Martin Luther King Jr." And I couldn't for a minute think that the world was still spinning. There was no way I could explain the ignorance and the lack of civility and the unchristian behavior that this country was exhibiting with the killing of Martin Luther King Jr. And I was crying and I was upset and I was angry, I was furious. And I got my husband's supper ready. He worked at Oliver that night at that time. And when he came home, I said, "Tomorrow, brown-eyed people are going to be on the top of my classroom and blue-eyed people are going to be on the bottom." He said, "Jane, you'll lose your job." I said, "If I lose my job for teaching something they need to know, I don't want a teacher." So I went to school. The first student in my classroom came in. They said, "Hey, they shot that king last night. Why'd they shoot that king?" I said, "We're going to talk about that." And I asked those kids what they knew about black people. And they knew every negative stereotype that I had ever heard about black people and some that had never occurred to me. And I said, "Do you kids have any idea how it would feel to be something other than white in this country?" "No." "Would you like no?" Yeah. It was like we've already gotten on spelling and handwriting. Keep this broad talking. We don't have to learn anything all day long. So I said, "Okay, today we're going to judge people by the color of their eyes. Brown-eyed kids are going to be on top the first day of this exercise." They said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I mean, blue-eyed people aren't as smart as brown-eyed people. They aren't as clean as brown-eyed people. They aren't as civilized as brown-eyed people." And at that point, little brown-eyed Debbie, sitting in the front row, and this had only been 3 minutes, looked up at me and said, "How come you're the teacher if you got them blue eyes?" And I thought, oh, this is how this works, isn't it? Here, this little 8-year-old girl can attack her teacher who has been to college, finished high school, and she has the right to attack me now because she has the right color eyes and I have the wrong color eyes. I couldn't believe what happened that day. A tall, blonde, beautiful, brilliant girl came into my room in February, reading at the 6th grade level in 3rd grade. She had never multiplied. I taught her how to multiply the first 15 minutes of math class. On the day she had the wrong color eyes, that brilliant little girl made mistakes in reading, made mistakes in spelling, and forgot how to multiply. She came in from recess crying. I said, "What's going on here?" As she walked across the playground, 2 brown-eyed Debbies and a brown-eyed Cindy stepped up behind her, reached up, struck her across the back with her forearm, and when Carol turned around, Debbie said to her, "Now you have to apologize to me for getting in my way, because I'm better than you are." And Carol apologized and came in crying. No person of any age will ever leave my presence with those attitudes unchallenged. I can't change your attitude, but I can challenge your attitude, and you have to prove to me that so-called white people are superior to everybody else on the face of the earth, and you can't do it because it isn't true. People are wondering whether what she did 52 years ago should be relevant today. In 52 years, we should have solved this problem. I am so determined that we change the education system in this country. I am so determined that we change what we're educating people to believe. There's only one race on the face of the earth, and that's the human race. Once we get that into the heads of our legislators, we'll have a different kind of law written. Once we get that into the heads of the police, we'll have a different law enforcement. Once we get that into the heads of educators, we'll have different education. We thought we stopped Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream by killing him. His dream is more alive now than it was when he was living, and you have proof of it by what's going on in every major city in the United States of America right now. Racism isn't about skin color. It's about white fear of different kinds of people. It's not skin color that's the problem. The skin color isn't the problem. You can't change skin color. You can change attitudes.
That was Miss Jane Elliott. I tell you to go watch some videos. I'm going back on mute. That's Miss Jane Elliott. I really hate educating and all the stuff that I
I
watch. I
love
really hate.
her.
And
I love
I'm
her.
glad you played that for us.
Yes.
I'm glad you played that. I think a lot of people needed to hear that. I hope it didn't go over a lot of people's heads and Auntie Common voice. And another thing, Petty, they took things like that out the school. So the generation now, they're not schooled and updated on history and facts and things like that. Because they actually took that out of the schools for them teaching them that. And that's crazy. That's crazy.
It
And
is.
then that you played that, Petty, it's so crazy because we got people windmilling down here in these comments. I'm talking about, and the fact that you playing it to send out a message to educate people, and they still not listening. They still not listening. I'm talking about they down there windmilling. But I think I'll drop with somebody else because we got two people actually. I think sometimes we just need to get an understanding on things. Sometimes it's okay to come in the box and talk and say how you feel because I think everybody opinion and comment is valid. I see a couple of people constantly coming at Mallory and the Poppy lady, on these racist things. So I mean, since we here, why don't we talk about it? Like, why don't we just put it on the floor? Like, it's okay to, agree to disagree. We don't have to be loud and rowdy and that's the only way I think we'll be able to move on
Yeah. I'm gonna hop down too.
and see what the end game could be if we actually could have a adult conversation.
Can we
Because
figure out what? Sorry.
oh, my bad, Ashby, go ahead.
No, can we figure out what Lauren's doing? Because
Yeah, you're right, Lauren. Yeah, she actually kind of got a lot of people triggered. Lauren, you
what is she
okay?
doing? She,
Lauren,
Lauren.
we
She
don't.
knows she
Why we
requested
looking
us
at her
to.
legs?
Okay, so I don't know what Lauren's doing, but I did make a comment about Mallory, and a lot of people were telling me to leave this live and all of that, which, like, I'm a Black woman. My mom is from Jamaica. My dad is from the Dominican Republic. I'm the first person out of my family to be born in the United States. I said, I love Mallory, but I don't like how she's the mouthpiece for race, like in this group, this community, when she said what she said about someone like talking like a Black woman, et cetera, et cetera. I understand the apology. I accept that. And that's all fine. I believe there needs to be a discussion. I believe in allies and all of that. But I just don't think that she should be the person to do that. And so when I'm in the comments saying, I love Mallory, but that doesn't mean I disrespect her. That doesn't mean I don't accept her apology. That just means she's the wrong person to be the person for, whatever this is. And
Okay.
it wasn't like she was nominated or anything like that.
Whoa.
It's just,
Can I ask you a question, Desi?
you can, yeah, of
Actually,
course.
Hold on, Jen. Let her and Mallory converse because it's for Mallory. So let her and Mallory converse so they can get an understanding on what's going on.
Okay, well, first of all, I had wanted to say something before I get nannered and I lose another appeal for hate speech because evidently I said something so terrible I lost my appeal. That's why I bounced out of here. To all the people who like sat over there last night and thought you ate and you were going to bring Pastor Petty down today, I just want you to pay attention for a second because you, number one, are intimidated. Whether you realize it or not, your unconscious bias is...
I'm sorry, Mallory. What does that have to do with anything I said?
Can I say something and then I will please address you? But I had
No,
something
I
to
know.
say.
I came up
Yeah,
here to
Mallory.
address
No,
something
we're
about
not
you.
addressing the
So if
comments,
we're having
Mallory.
a conversation, then we're not
Right,
going to bring it back to
yeah,
that.
don't
We're
focus
not
on
going to bring it
downstairs
back
right.
because
to,
that will veer
Oh, I
everything
wasn't
off.
focusing on downstairs. I'm
Oh,
trying to
gotcha.
say that their unconscious bias is the reason that
Look
we're
at the
having
comments.
this
It's like, why do you
conversation.
speak? This, that, and the
I'm
other.
sorry. I'm sorry
So
to
I
Mallory.
proved my point with that.
Mallory, I'm sorry.
Look at the
Miss
comments.
Des, Miss Des, respectfully, I don't run one of those platforms where people overtalk each other, and I would hate to have to keep pressing the mute button. Miss Mallory, you said what you had to say, and if it takes Miss Mallory a little minute to get to you, and what you had to say, that she does have the floor and she's speaking, and that's not fair to any woman, any human woman. As I just played that clip, I just want us all to be human. No matter, I'm not about separation. I'm about respecting each other. When she get to her point, let her get to her point. But when she done, you got the floor. Just let's
Okay,
be respectful.
so then
Miss Des, she got the floor. You
she
got the
has the
floor.
floor. That's
Petty.
fine. I came up here to talk to her and about a
I
certain
I understand.
situation.
If you
Miss
would let
Des,
me
I
finish, you would
understand.
hear
Please
what I
just
have to say.
let her
Can I
finish.
just have a sidebar real quick? Y'all don't be talking to Desi like that. I see y'all down there telling her to go. She's a black woman and we need to respect her. We need to respect each other. We all like everybody has said before, we're all gonna have a difference of opinions, and that's okay. We don't have to like everybody, and that's okay. That's all I want to say. Just keep it respectful everywhere.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that, Ash, because they call her ignorant and everything. Like, y'all, please keep it cute.
What I was trying to say was they made this possible, and I appreciate it because it allows me to address the fact that number one, I made a comment out of anger and it was ignorant of me. I should not have made it. We've had that conversation on multiple occasions. I am deeply sorry that it offended you. I am sorry that you think less of me because of that. You're rightful in thinking that. You're capable of making your own decisions about me, but that's not going to make me stand down and not recognize that part of why I'm here is because I have taken the effort to learn and I have taken the effort to unpack and I invest my time and energy into recognizing that if I can't do better and I can't help other people understand how I was able to learn to do better and help them transfer that into their lives, like people like Marilyn, who said last night, stay out of Black people's business. What does that mean after we just had a productive conversation about racism where people in the comments have very much said that they learned? And I think to come up here and not let me speak that because I'm trying to speak in the totality of things, because I don't know that we would be here necessarily today in this conversation if they hadn't have made those racist comments last night. And we all make mistakes, we all fuck up, but it's how you learn from them, it's how you own it. And I'm not going to sit here and deny it. I'm not going to sit here and gaslight somebody. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to stand up and say, I messed up and I learned. And what I hope at the end of the day is rather than putting somebody down for taking an opportunity to open their mind and close their mouth and listen to people, we can teach other people that it's okay to admit your ignorance and be willing to open your mind to learn something new about how you can do better in the future. Because I'm not perfect, but I'm here because I care.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, Ash. I want to speak after you. Go ahead.
So here's the thing with talking about racism and bleach supremacy. Um, when you're talking about allies, if that's what you want to call them, anti-racist work is never done. So with that in mind, there will be missteps, there will be fumbles, and I even told Mallory in the comments, I was a comment cousin at the time, that I didn't like that she said that that person sounded black. I get where she was going with that, but I didn't understand that. I didn't like it. So, and since she's apologized. Now, whether you receive the apology or not, whether you feel the apology is genuine to you, that's all subjective. But as long as we're all breathing, we're all constantly learning, we're all constantly apologizing because This work, just like life, is messy. It's not perfect. We're not infallible. So I think, and I am not the type of person that, always wants to give the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like we have to give a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to this work. So that's all I got to say.
Mallory, I'm 53. I was raised in South Boston during busing. Well, 71. I was raised where it was okay to say the N word. But even then, I cringed when I heard it because my mother didn't say it. It wasn't allowed in our house. So all I can do is like when I raised my kids, it wasn't allowed. And when you looked at what they've been through, what they've gone through, I can't ever understand it because entitlement, I've always had it. But hearing you, Mallory, you can just hear it in your heart. You didn't elect yourself. We elected you. You know what I mean? And it sucks to see everyone come at you all the time, and you sit there and you take it. You know, and we can't, like Zero said, we can't make people feel comfortable. They can't be comfortable sitting with us if they think it's okay to still be like my 14-year-old and my 18-year-old are beautiful children. I think I did a good job, you know. All we can do is break the cycle, and it is definitely taught at home. I firmly believe that. But like I'm all over the place because my feeling it's a touchy subject. Because I can't get, like I had biracial nieces, and they would come in and the way they would say the N word, I'd say no, it's not even allowed at all. Like and that was 20 years ago. Like it wasn't even now, So I love what you stand for, Mallory, and I love the people in this. This is our safe space. It's our happy space, and sometimes we have to go there where it does get uncomfortable, and that's it.
Y'all making me pull everything. You making me pull everything. You really making me. You really. I'm gonna let somebody else talk. Here's a voice.
Like Clarence Thomas has a lot of power.
Yeah,
he's racist.
Yeah.
I feel like he's racist. He is racist.
Yeah, because he exerts power. Yes.
Clarence
Thomas can be racist, but black people cannot.
Generally, black people cannot, but black person can be racist. So like if Clarence Thomas Clarence Thomas Supreme Court, some of his rulings racist.
Yeah.
But let's say Clarence Thomas goes to Lowe's and he see two people that can help him, and he just picked the white person, not the black person, so they don't get the commission. Can he be racist in that situation? Because that's an individual, just one-off situation.
It is, but it's already based on his self-hate. He has a self-professed self-hatred. It's built in for him.
So that's what Karen did. And she's saying she felt racist about that, and she didn't. That I think she got a good
Karen
point.
Hunter.
No, not so. Here's the thing. B1, black first.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with the tribal connection to your ethnic group.
Now, if they were both waiting on me at the same time, they both came up and I made that choice, I think I wouldn't have felt. But the lady waited on me, and
she's supposed to wait on you. That's what she was working.
But the other one didn't. I was giving her a commission that she didn't earn.
She knew it was hit or miss when she went to work today. Here's the thing.
Don't wonder why. Don't wonder why. I'm just warning you right now.
And let me get the W.D. Du Bois. One more. Dr. Carr. African American Studies.
Good everything, Nubians. What's happening? What's good? I know some of you may be triggered by what we played, and I'm gonna play another one on the end. I want to be able to chop it off so that these folks can get a single bit of our algorithms on the piece. Well, good everything. Hey, Dr. Carr, how you doing?
I'm fine, Professor Hunter. How are you this beautiful day? Good everything.
I am awesome. And I see
W.D. Du Bois.
Wearing our W.D. Du Bois this week. His birthday.
Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, his birthday was day before yesterday. Well, for those of you watching, that's on the 23rd.
If you don't know who WG the Boys is, Lord Jesus, some things you ain't supposed to be talking about.
His birthday. We figured we'd get him to help us, particularly from what we just saw. What was that?
So I use this as a lesson this week because one of our favorite Jezebels, because I'm now in my Donald Bogle moment explanation. One of our favorite Jezebels is out in these streets because there's a petition to remove content like this from TikTok. And there's another one where a guy's dancing with, and every time he eats some food, he's got to do all of this. And I was like, yeah, coons, mammies, toms,
mulattoes and bucks, huh? That was one of Bogle's. For those people who think that you just pulled out a label to lay on somebody, that was a term, right?
I'm not disparaging. I'm saying that we don't have enough to comment on things, and that was what I was saying in my journalism class. That you may think things are funny because we're used to yes, boss, there's a whole lot of cooning going on, especially in rap and hip hop. I said it.
She's a professor. He's a professor.
But it's like if you don't know better. So I'm struggling, Dr. Carr, because you don't. I said this yesterday. You don't kick a dog in his balls for not wearing drawers, right? You don't. Your balls are out, dog. The dog don't know. The dog don't know. So we have to do better in terms of like educating people with love, and I personally need to work on that because I get
hold on. You listen. Hold on.
Why don't we know these things? Why don't we look at this? That thing that I just played. That boy, and I'm gonna call him a boy because he clearly doesn't know. And there's like thousands of videos where he's eating food and acting like what D.W. Griffith said we were. He said,
if you don't know who D.W. Griffin is, you ain't got Lord Jesus.
And we're not that at all. But he's got 7 million followers.
Of course.
7 million.
Of course.
Bringing y'all to class. Lord Jesus.
Today, there's a Nazi rally. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, woo, this can happen again. This is how it happened.
It is happening again.
It's happening in real time. Y'all are living through history once again. But I'm thinking about, they used to call the rally something else. Now they're just like Day of Hate. And we're not even going to try to pretend that we're not hating. We're just going to call it what it is. And I'm like, wow.
Why don't we? What's the point of trying to hide it? I mean, as you say, who gonna check us? Who gonna check us?
Yeah, we elect or don't elect folk by staying home. We elect folk by staying home in Arkansas and Texas and Florida and other places where we actually could have done something. What people did in Georgia was.
You mean it isn't all just voter suppression? Sometimes people just don't go to the polls and make it easy for them.
I can't believe I gotta do this.
Yeah, because they're out there. My vote don't matter. I'm gonna write my name in. I'm gonna write in somebody else. But the power people understand. I don't care if you don't have a college education. I don't care if you have a GED, half a hoe, can't spell. I'm gonna send you to Congress because you're gonna vote the way I want you to. I don't care if you are a lying piece of crap or who has lied about everything from your heritage to whether or not you were at a drag festival.
How about that?
And we're Republicans and we're banning drag, but we're gonna make sure that you're in Congress because you're gonna do what we tell you.
I don't know.
We need purity. I need to like you and know that you're doing everything. Listen,
let me get to the meat.
I know. Unity with drugs, and then you make them Schedule C, and you
meat.
The Coon Show. I know you don't think so. I mean, yeah, but you won't.
Yeah, I love Miss Carol.
So, they read books if you could get. So is it how do we root this out? We're pouring the clean glasses for sure, but sounds like you and that spirit is okay. Maybe we need to press the gas. Not that we aren't continuing to grow. It's really remarkable, isn't it? You talked about last week about how the roots are so deep and they continue to get deeper. But
I know this is a long journey, of I don't even want to call it unlearning and then re-indoctrinating because there has to be a willful.
There we go.
Here's what I say all the time,
Please go watch that. You need to unlearn. Floor is yours. You need to unlearn and re-educate yourself. Lord Jesus. Floor is yours, Miss Des. Miss Des, the floor is yours.
Okay, sorry, my phone went on mute for a second. But anyways, I came up here respectfully. I said, you know, I love Mallory. I love her content. And I do not feel comfortable with her being the mouthpiece or whatever, the advocate, the ally on this platform or within this group for speaking against racism because of her transgressions. Yes, she is unpacking. Yes, she is learning. But at the same time, when you can let things like that slip, what else is in your head that potentially could slip or could be said out of anger or could be said out of malice when you're in a heated moment? And I appreciate her for doing the work and all of that. And I really do acknowledge that because a lot of people don't and they fail to do that. I'm just saying, like, when it's said all the time, or like when something about race comes up and Mallory comes up to speak, like that just it's unsettling to me. Because this person, I don't know, like I feel like we should be able to speak for ourselves. I feel like people should give us the platform to speak for ourselves. And yes, it's not always heard by the broader audience. Yes, I know there is an ally or someone that looks similar to them that needs to give the message in order for it to be received. And that's sad. And that's a product of racism and prejudice within itself. But it's just, I don't know. Like that's just what I feel. And Mallory, I apologize if I offended you in any way. And I can admit that maybe there was a sense of miscommunication when I first got up here and when I was speaking and then you spoke and I felt like I was being overtalked. Maybe someone did say, you know, Mallory speaking or let Mallory speak or respond to you. And I may have missed that. And I do deeply apologize for that. But I'm just saying, like, I honestly don't like you being the person to get up and talk about it when there was a whole blow up about the one, you know, like talking like a black person or talking like a black woman. And then like the Section 8 comment, like you apologize for both, but as many mistakes as anyone can make, you can keep apologizing until you change and you don't have to make those apologies anymore. Then I think you can be the person to do that. But right now, I don't want to hear it from you. And
So,
I
Desi,
land my plane.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what you're asking, are you maybe asking that Mallory, instead of jumping up, maybe sit back and reflect and listen first before jumping to respond? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, and I feel like I have no right to ask anything of her, but I do think that there is a lot more for her to learn. And I feel like there are so many people on this platform and that, you know, join and get in these boxes that have so much for her to learn from that she can just kind of like sit back for a while and not necessarily speak up when there are tons of things left for her to learn and understand, and till she gets to that point where she's not making those slip ups or those mistakes or whatever. And like everyone makes mistakes and stuff like that. Like I get it, but like I love everyone. Like, you know, it's not easy for me to be here. Like both of my parents are immigrants. They were not born in this country. And if I trace my lineage back, like, you know, my grandparents are from different continents and all of that. Like it wasn't easy for me to be here, but I had no grace. I had no person to, you know, understand me or to listen to me or to like feel what I felt growing up, especially in a place like I was born in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's called Lynchburg, Virginia. Like, and meanwhile, while the name doesn't have anything to do with actual lynching, like it is a very small town where there's Liberty University and Jerry Falwell and all of that. Like, and I'm not trying to get off topic or anything like that, but
I get what you're saying.
to be understood and to be heard is a gift and it is a privilege, and I never received that, but I do offer it to everyone else. So I understand Mallory and I forgive her, and I just feel like, you know, there's more that she has to listen to and to understand and to like feel and empathize with if she can, before she should be able to speak on behalf of other people.
I get what you're saying, and I know where Lynchburg is. I actually live in Chesapeake. I live 30 minutes away from North Carolina, and it is very, 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 what's the word? Um, MAGA in the bad way. So I get it. And I don't think her saying that Mallory should sometimes take a step back and reflect and listen is a bad thing. Yes, Mallory's learning. Yes, Mallory is doing anti-racist work, but there is some validity in what Desi said.
I agree.
Sometimes instead of jumping to say something, which, that's good. You want to step up and you want to speak out because things are wrong. Sometimes you have to take a step back and listen. I feel like you get a lot more information and you get a lot more understanding when you stop and listen and hear all different points of view. And I don't think that Desi should be raked over the coals like she's being in the comments. And I feel like y'all are showing yourselves, especially people that are non-melanated. Y'all need to check that because it's a lot of
Exactly.
y'all. I'm looking at y'all, and it's a lot of y'all saying that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Clock it,
that's
sis.
feeling like
Dang,
a
I'm
little bit
seeing
of
the
anti-blackness.
comments.
I'ma say it.
Clock it, sis. Thank you.
I'ma say it.
Thank
You
you.
can't say so. You can't disparage a black woman on behalf of a white woman that you feel is an ally. That's just, it's counterproductive to me. Everybody is allowed to the way they feel.
Exactly. I think she's very has a right to voice her opinion, or her opinion is valid. Like, she has some valid points. It's okay for us to sit back sometimes and learn. Like, I think we're all still learning. I don't think nobody knows everything. So
I'm
it's
going to be
okay.
extremely vulnerable here, guys. And this is conversations that I have with my daughter and my close friends and stuff. But I'm going to speak for the people who have questions potentially but don't know how to say it. I know that it is not on melanated people to educate us, right? It's not your guys' responsibility to educate us. We hear that all the time as you're actively working to be anti-racist. It's not your guys' job to educate us. We need to find the
You're
resources, that sort of stuff, etc.
I'm
And I
sorry.
know that's not everybody's
I just
belief.
want to say this, Alicia. You're melanated as well.
I do understand that. I actually tell Zaina that she stole all my melanin, and that's why I'm pasty white now. Jokes, guys, jokes. Okay. But as I see people who try to become like to work towards anti-racism and to advocate and um, to amplify voices and stuff like that, and they're often told, sorry, JJ Stewart, that you don't think that's funny. My daughter is half Nigerian and she's darker than her grandma, who was born in Nigeria. So it's just an ongoing joke. But if the people that we see who are willing to put themselves out there and speak on these topics and understand that um, are doing the work, actively doing the work, it's never ending, that kind of stuff. It's hard for some people to know where to go to get the answers and to be educated without putting the burden on you guys to provide us those resources or to say the things. And like somebody said earlier, you can go into some places where they're like, don't call us black, call us African American, or vice versa, and all of that stuff. And so it becomes difficult to know what space you can go to learn and where it's going to be. I know we're all human, but my daughter, who does not have African ancestry, that was in slavery, doesn't like it when people call her black, and she won't say the N word, and she doesn't tolerate people saying it. I mean, like, there's just preferences, and I recognize that. I mean, people would say it's because she's whitewashed or something else, but I just want to know, and I know that there's people in the comments that are having these same questions, that want to know, like, how do I ask for help? How do I find the correct resources? And how do I know which voices I'm supposed to be listening to, etc.? in order to make sure that I am doing the work. And I'm just saying this for other people. Like, guys, I have trusted friends that I can talk to and that I can understand things and learn from, but their preferences are different than what I've learned here, like the mixed and biracial concept. Like that, like some people say that don't say mixed, and some people say it's okay because that's what they grew up around. But so just asking if somebody is willing to put themselves out there and be vulnerable and make those mistakes and own those mistakes and try to learn from them. But like, how do we know where it's okay to go and where it's not okay to go, and that we're not going to then say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing because we learned it one place and not in another place? And so I'm sure that I said things wrong and I've probably offended people, and that's fine. I understand that. I show up as me 100% all the time, and I love all of these voices in here, and I listen and I'm learning. And I also learn from my daughter all the time, where she tells me that I am too much, like where I call people out. And I get that, but I mean, I just know that there's got to be people in these comments that have the same question and want to understand. So I want to amplify the right voices and learn from the right voices, but sometimes it can be difficult to know where to go.
So, just to respond to you really quickly, Alicia, I understand that and I do respect you a lot, and I appreciate the content and the input that you provide all the time. But we also have those same questions. We don't know where to go. Like, we don't know, like, sometimes it's hard to navigate racism, like, as a person that racism is being imposed, on. And so that's like a fair point as well. Like, there's no book, there's no guide, there's no anything like that. So
There's a whole guide. There's a whole guide for everybody.
I mean, okay. Yeah.
There's a whole guide. There's a book. There's a listening. There's a podcast. There's a YouTube for everybody.
There's something for
Exactly.
everybody.
If you want to
There
learn,
is
you
a
gotta
guide for
watch.
everybody
Yes,
to treat
you have to
everybody
watch.
like a human being and stop what I'm hearing right now. I hear y'all picking sides instead of just coming together and saying, hey, I can humanize this. Your history and where you come from is one thing.
But
But
we
to
learning
not
right here, right
realize the
now.
human aspect of, hey, you came from there, that's your ancestry. Bro, like, there's literally a person named Karen Hunter and Dr. Carr. She is a professor and she has a radio freaking personality. Listen to her way before TikTok. I said something when I came on TikTok about her. I left the nugget. You can literally go to Dr. Carr's page and find everything that has to do with African American studies, breaking down racism, breaking down your whole history for you, and then coming back to we all just need to treat each other better and be humans, not segregating a space, but bringing people in no matter what they look like, race, religion, or color, bringing them into the space to teach them. That is what I played as Dr. Carr and Karen Hunter. To bring you in to learn how to treat people better. This radio personality on Sirius XM is not trying to misguide you. They are bringing facts and history lessons to teach you so you become better. There is a place, at least one place I can point you into. You all need to get off TikTok and maybe go to YouTube and say, hey, who's Karen Hunter? Who's Dr. Carr? Let me listen to. It's over 187 episodes of information for you just to listen to while you at work.
It is. It's all kind of resources. Like he said, we can ask questions. We can visit, museums, visit different places. We can actually practice actual listening. Like if we sit back and listen and educate ourselves, just like how we're here today right now, we can educate each other. Like how we tell things on our behalf and we listen to things on y'all behalf. So I mean, this the learning experience right here.
Yeah,
But
and
if
that was my
anybody needs
point.
to educate themselves, it's books, it's podcasts, YouTube. we can all learn from each other. That's
Yeah,
what it's all about.
and that was my point, like where I was going was that like we're here, we're having these conversations and stuff like that, and you're getting perspectives from different people. That is also a learning experience. And for me, I feel like that's the most beneficial learning experience, by hearing people's stories and by hearing how they feel and how they're affected.
But it's not. But it's not a story though, hon. It's real life.
Yeah.
It's
That's true.
can I say something? Because I listened. You know, I stayed quiet. You know, I stayed quiet and I listened. And y'all blessed me today. Like I know people are going to get upset with me in the Black community, but you know, the people who are first to me today are not the ones that I'm really watching. I'm never on the team of team winner. I'm on the team that's losing but doing the work. And me and Petty just clicked. Like, I was flattered. Like, what is he watching this old lady for? He warned y'all. He said, she kind of crazy, y'all. Because I moved to a different drum beat. But I'll tell you this to the white community. Like I said, can I keep it a buck with y'all? Can you imagine I came into a family that never had anybody that looked like me in their family lineage? Let me say that one more time. I came into a family that never had anybody that looked like me. And I often tell this story. I've been telling this story, which is a true fact. And my mother-in-law, I know she's remorseful for saying it, but it was the bigotry that was in her. It was that racism that she really thought that she unpacked that hadn't unpacked. She said, you know what, Carmen? She said, you know, and I'm talking, y'all, I will go to bat for my mother-in-law. You ain't gonna come for ma'am. I called her ma'am. That's her nickname in our family, y'all. It's not mom because I have a mama. So I call her ma'am. So I got everybody calling her ma'am, right? And that's my term of endearment of love for our ma'am. She's 4'11", very educated. When I say educated, like she was a principal, I go blah, 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 and on for my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. Got the best of the best. But there were some things that just did not click. There were some things that they did that just did not click with my spirit. And I would be in the most uncomfortable states. And one day the Holy Ghost spoke to me and said, if you don't say something, I'm going to get you.
Well,
So when
I
I see people that don't want to really learn, it's because they're doing too much talking. The best thing that a white tea person can do is take notes and listen. Because I was listening. Can you imagine I'm 56 years old and I'm a Black woman in an interracial marriage? And watch this. But I still learn from Zay, Gary, Pastor Petty, Allison, Ashby, Queen, Zion. Can you imagine y'all still teaching me that the work, we're not even near the work. And I'm going to say this one more time. Look up this lady. Matter of fact, while we on here, Allison, do the research. Now watch this. I'm finna show y'all this is somebody who is really, truly unpacked. Look up the lady, a white tea woman from Georgia who was a civil rights activist. She's still here, y'all. Ruby. Do y'all know who Ruby is? Ruby's still here, y'all. Can you imagine the trauma that Mama Dukes, my mother, went through, are still here, but yet still they excel? Oh,
Amen.
oh my
So
God.
I jumped up here real quick just to
Oh, go ahead.
say, Carmen, I learned a lot from you by listening. I learned from Petty by listening, from Ashby. I learned from all of you all by listening. If you close your mouth and you open those ears and you actually listen, not just to the words, listen to that message that she's telling you. Listen. Just listen and you'll learn. And I've learned a lot by just listening. So thank you
Do you
all
think?
for
Do you
educating.
think, Queen? Do you think, Queen? Let's have some dialogue. Can we have real talk, Pastor? Or are we just gonna keep skating on the surface? What? Come. Can we?
Can I
Can we?
talk with Mallory, me and Mallory, for a second?
Absolutely,
Because I am
absolutely.
feeling some type of way. So, Mallory,
Wait. Oh.
I'm not being mean. It's not mean. I'm going to
Okay.
say that there are places that we need to step back and listen. And a lot of times when you're doing the work, but you're doing all the talking, you're not doing the work. Like you got to step back. You are, and I understand why she said that you're. It looks like you're the voice for YT people. I don't think that's factual, but I do think sometimes you just got to step back and listen and not talk, because a lot of times when you're talking, you don't listen. You don't get the message clearly. Um, but I don't know. I'm newer to this group. I'm trying to get my bearings. I don't know, but what I've seen is that sometimes it humble ourselves, step back, let the conversations happen, listen, take it in. you know I don't know, I was just feeling some type of way about that. I don't know why.
Big Zero. Do you think that is inciting? Do you know what? We all know what inciting
No, yes,
something is,
100%.
right?
Right.
Okay. So when the reason why I believe Mallory catches a lot of strays is because what Mallory stands for. Oh, I said it, Pastor Petty.
And
See,
I don't. Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
too old for this. I'm too old for playing these games. I think that what it incites is it incites a spirit of division. And what it does is it's almost as worse as the cancer that I've been fighting for 15 years. Can you imagine?
I can
Can I
see
say
that.
something?
I see
Go
it.
ahead, Pastor. Go ahead, Pastor.
If Mallory is the only European descended person coming over here and speaking up, I don't have no problem,
That's
because
true.
nobody else is speaking up until
That's true.
somebody else speaks up and voice just like her. Then well, maybe Mallory's a problem. Nobody else ain't speaking up. You can't have a problem when nobody else is speaking up.
And I do see
She's
that.
the
And
only one.
It's
Her,
okay. Listen to
Alicia,
Pastor.
And
Listen.
Queen,
Come on, y'all. Listen to
they
Pastor.
speaking
Sis,
up.
let him
And
let
you
us.
got a problem for them? I don't have no problems. If Mallory is the only European descended person, no matter her background, if she is the only one, you got to take a seat. Muting myself.
can I say something really quickly right here at this point in time? First, I would like to say thank you to Desi for coming up and stating your opinion and how you felt. I value listening to all sides. But as far as Mallory goes, I don't think that Mallory decided that one day that she was just going to come on TikTok and come on the platform and be a spokesman for everybody. I believe that somehow
Born.
she got tagged in that, and then
No, she was born. Don't take that lineage
well,
away
that's
from it.
true, Carmen. She does
She
have
was
a she
born.
has a
No. Listen.
mm,
Greatness is birth.
yes, but I'm just saying
See, you
that
trying to take something. You
no,
trying to
ma'am, I'm
take.
not trying to take
No.
anything
Hear me
from
out,
her. If
please.
you would let
Please hear
me
me out.
finish,
See,
would
this
you
is a
let me
learning
finish?
moment. This
I'm
is
not
going to
trying
be
to
a
take
learning
anything from
moment.
Mallory.
And let me tell you something. I disagree with a lot of things what Mallory does, but you'll never know it. I would never. I disagree with a lot of things that my children do. You'll never know it.
But I'm not disagreeing with
But
anything that
please let me.
Mallory
Can I?
does.
Can I? Oh, I'm not gonna be
I'm
able to see.
actually taking up for
Can I
Mallory if I
please,
can
please take the
complete my
defense
thought.
But
mechanism down?
y'all, come on
Auntie,
now, Auntie. We gotta stay together, Auntie,
but
because you cut her
Auntie,
off,
it's not a
Auntie.
bad thing, babe.
You cut her off, Auntie.
Please
Just
hear
let her
my
go.
heart.
Auntie,
It's
you
okay,
windmilling.
Auntie.
We love you, but you windmilling.
Yeah, Auntie. Come on.
No, I wasn't windmilling. What I was saying
We were
is,
talking. We were talking to Auntie Carmen.
okay, what I was saying is, I feel that people give Mallory a bad rap because she has the gumption.
Do you think that you're a part of the problem? I'm like a therapist. I'm going to ask questions inadvertently. Do you think you're probably part of the problem?
Who, me? No, I went
It's
through
a
my
hypothetical. Do
deconstruction
you know what
several years
hypothesis
ago.
is?
We're
Listen,
witnessing Mallory go through her deconstruction in real time.
please. Can you
Miss
just
Carter,
tell
you
me?
know,
Auntie, hold on. Auntie,
now,
hold
Miss
on.
Love
Rose,
you,
Auntie,
Auntie.
hold on,
you like my
y'all.
mom now.
Hold on,
Mom,
Blessings.
you know
y'all.
you need to let her talk
Yes.
now. You know, let Miss Jennifer talk. Well, let her
Go
have
ahead,
her
Jen.
time.
Go ahead, Jen. Go
Okay.
ahead, Jen.
Okay, so maybe it's just not coming out right or you're not understanding me correctly. But what I was saying is that people are not giving her enough credit for stepping up and saying what she wants to say and being proactive and going in real time and being anti racist because when you are white, if we're born inherently racist. And to not be racist, you have to work every day to be anti racist. And so, what we're witnessing Mallory do on a daily basis is work through that because I've seen so many people tear her down when she says that she wakes up every day and checks her white privilege. Like Marilyn, oh my God, I would just like to go a day with Marilyn. What Mallory is actually doing is she is deconstructing on a daily basis and saying, hey, I get it. I need y'all to get it. Now, is she going to misstep sometimes? Aren't we all? Because don't we all learn on a daily basis? Because when we stop learning, well, we become stunted. We're lifelong learners, and we're going to have to educate ourselves every day until the day we're no longer here. So, Mallory, I commend you for what you do. I think that you do an awesome job. Do I think that, you asked to be the voice? Sometimes I feel like that might be a lot on your person, but I think it's awesome. And I commend you. And I think that you've got some big kahunas. And I think that's a very good thing. And I don't think that you should let anybody bring you down. That's all I'm going to say. And Miss Carmen, I apologize if you thought that I was going somewhere different with it because I just really love you and I listen to you all day long and learn things from you as well.
I'm sorry I got booted. I do understand now, and I will say I came off with an opinion when I don't really know the group. I'm new here. I didn't know it was only Mallory coming up. And I spoke out of line. So for that, I am sorry. Because I am seeing the comments from people. I don't know anyone. Like I don't know anyone. Um, I just have some very big opinions. We'll say that.
Can I speak now?
Yeah.
Okay, number one, I understand how the comment about Section 8 housing may have come off racist, but I see a lot of people throwing that into the mix. And I need you to understand, I lived in government subsidized housing. I don't see that as a resource that is used predominantly by one. That is something a lot of people in our country need because we are all one step away from poverty.
Amen.
I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Okay, it's not my space to do it. I apologize for having said it. The comment that I have made, please let me talk without interruption. The comment that I had made about that woman sounding as if she was Black, I'm going to explain it again, and I'm going to explain it within the terms of what I was able to learn because I was willing to have a conversation and open up and say, I fucked up. What I said came from a place when in college I took a course where we learned about a study where we can all agree if you're from California and you're from New York, you have different accents. Now, there are some people who have been going around saying that I say people talk in black and people talk in white, and that they use different languages and things like that, and that is not at all what I meant. And I learned it was very microaggressive, and I did not realize it at the time how it was coming out. And I deeply apologize for that. But I'm not going to sit here and let people degrade my voice because I made a mistake. Because at the end of the day, when you go to work and your manager makes a mistake, do you tell them, oh no, I can't follow you anymore. You don't get to tell me what to do because you messed up. We have to learn. And if we can't learn in public, other people aren't going to learn from our mistakes. And that is how we grow. That is how we make differences. I'm gonna fuck up. But at least I come up here and I own it, and I'm willing to have conversations and be open to that and hear and listen and understand what Desi is saying, as much as Carmen, as much as Ashby, as much as Jennifer. Like, everybody is going to have their opinions. And to be quite honest, like, as you're all in the comments saying things to Desi, there's people in the comments, I saw comments calling me big back and fat and all of this shit too. None of us are perfect. We all get attacked for different reasons, and every opinion is valid. But I'm not going to silence myself because what I messed up on, my fuck up, would help somebody else learn to do better. And I will say that till the end of time, because the people who come at me and say, oh, she says black people have a different language than white people. No, that's not what I said. And it's not what I meant. But those are the people who aren't going to apologize for weaponizing the race and sitting on a live last night and saying, stay out of black people's business. That's why I stand up and talk. I sat here and I listened because I care. I want to learn. But I'm not going to let people think it's okay to make comments like that and just perpetuate racism. It's not okay. And I'm going to fuck up. I fuck up all the time on shit. We all do.
And clearly I need to take my own advice because I didn't sit down and shut up and listen before I had an opinion about you, and I'm very sorry. You know, I am new. I don't know the full details. I see little bits and pieces here, and you try to make, you know, everything on the internet's a lie. But I will apologize because I didn't step back and listen and see you were the voice in the room. Who else was coming up to have that? So I respect you, and I am very sorry that I didn't take my advice and sit down and shut up. Truly.
But that's the thing. Like, we all learn. Like, you're new here, you didn't know. And I think there are some people who have been told that what I said was a certain way, and I understand. I own what I say, and I know when I fuck up. And I have ADHD, and I sometimes my mouth runs faster than my brain, and just the way I say something does not come out the way I mean it. And the second I said it, I knew what I had said was not what I meant, and I tried to fix it, and I fucked up and made it worse.
And that's okay, Mallory. And I'm glad that you do be the voice of reason. To, like, we love you down. But like we said, sometimes you just gotta sit back and listen. It's okay to sit back and listen and educate yourself. And I'm gonna comment on the part when you said about the Section A and da 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 da. On this internet, it's all about delivery. People go on what you say. We have to choose our words and put things out there so people can understand exactly what we're saying. So sometimes your word might be off. You probably don't mean no harm, but when people hear certain things that you say, because I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard the video, I feel some type of way. But I had to go back and listen, and I had to, educate myself on some things. So, I'm like, well, I can't be mad at Mallory, but she's still learning. So, sometimes we just have to, our delivery got to be a little different. It have to be a better approach on things, so.
And this is where I'm learning, because the things that sometimes I say that aren't negative is out of a very emotional knee-jerk reaction. So when I've listened to that person make fun of my house and talk about what a dump it is and all of that stuff, like my mouth ran faster than my brain. I knew it was fucking wrong. I don't think less of anybody who lives in Section 8, but it's just like you can't make things stop sometimes, and you get caught up in a moment, and what you say is the stupidest thing you could have said, but I own it, and I know I have to learn, and I know I have to take a step back and not say things so reactionary, because it does hurt people.
Right, because every action does not reserve it does not deserve a reaction. Like it doesn't.
Exactly. And I think that has a lot to do with what I always say, and I
I
say it
think
in
somebody has
everyone's
something to say, guys.
comments, of listening to understand and not listening to respond. It's a knee-jerk reaction to want to have to keep explaining yourself and to keep having to defend yourself. Sometimes you just have to stop and listen, and then you'll be able to form your statement better.
Patty, do you
Petty,
have something
can
to
you
say?
can you just say what you gonna say?
If you don't unmute that mic and talk your stuff, son, unmute that mic.
Ain't no way. If we're gonna be treating each other like human beings, ain't no way you hold Mallory to a standard, but Miss Carmen can go off on folks when they talk about her. Ain't
Wait,
no way.
I was speaking in general, not necessarily with Mallory, just listening.
Yes,
I know, but
Petty,
you
we just
gotta
saying that
understand.
because people keep ridiculing her about the same thing over and over.
Over and
Like
over
we getting
again.
I
old and
got
we
you,
tired
but
of
if
it.
you understand that day and what happened, if you was actually watching and not watching the clip, folks was coming at her. And when folks come at y'all, you know you give get back. You give it all. You say this, that, homegirl this, homegirl that,
Right,
that. And that was the only comeback that she had
She was
as a
pushed.
people that grew up and roasting and getting folks back.
right. I feel
Section
Yeah.
you
8
on that.
comment didn't even do nothing to me because I knew what it was.
Yeah, they were talking,
Exactly. See,
and
we
I
don't
agree with
feel
that,
no
and
type
I
of
told
way,
her that.
Petty. We don't
I,
feel no type of way. It be the
yeah,
other people that feel something. That's why we said that sometimes it just be the delivery, because you know we don't care about none of that. It's the
yeah,
people that keep ridiculing her about her faults. Like it's a mistake. Like let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? That's
yep.
why I said it like that, because like they take shit and run with it, and you know that. You know that.
And I've witnessed how they treat Mallory, and I will say that those things that she said was a response to how she was being treated.
Exactly.
Sometimes
They
you can't. I get, like, as far as the learning and all that, like I said, you take a step back, you listen. But when it comes to being provoked, those people have been at Mallory. They have been saying these things, and it was all in response to Mallory catching one of their people and caught them slipping and being racist.
right, and we can't police
So
nobody
they flipped the
response.
narrative.
Right,
And
we
so she
cannot
says these
police it.
things. Exactly. She says these things. You cannot police how someone reacts after being provoked and provoked and provoked. I sit in Mallory's life before I even was super active, and I've seen how they treat her. Just like how they talk about how Petty says this and this and that about someone, how they look. They've been swatting him. They've been talking about his kids. You can't police the response when someone finally wants to defend themselves. And that's it. That's it. That's
I
all.
and it was my bad. It was my bad. I did not pay attention. Now I'm learning from you guys. But Mallory, here's what I'll tell you. I'll be with you. I'll come up in boxes with you. We could do this together, girl.
Thank
But
you.
I I am very sorry for my opinion without knowing facts. You know? I didn't know.
No, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody's opinion, Desi, and I mean, I wish Leslie would get up here in a box because she's got a lot of stuff to say in the comments, but she won't come up here and address it.
Hetty, what
Mallory,
you
because
saying?
them the
Matter of
people that
fact,
wants division, they want problems, they want chaos, they don't want change, they want us to be into it, they want us to continuously fight. That's what they doing. They are comment warriors, they are keyboard killers. Like it's not that serious. Like, come
Can,
on.
I
can
promise
I
in
say
real life,
something,
I'm looking
Pastor?
at the
Can I
excuse
say
ball,
y'all.
something
brother.
Let
real
her have the
quick?
floor.
I'm not.
Can I
No.
say something real quick,
Can I
y'all?
say
Look,
one more
Can
thing
you
really
drop
quick?
me real quick?
absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead, man.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to say was what I hate most of all is that what I fucked up and said overshadowed so brightly the fact that we were trying to bring awareness to the fact that there are people out there who think it's okay to use the N word as somebody's nickname and tried to call someone at 3 a.m. in the morning to dignify that. Because that to me, that has been what I said, and I said this to Cartel, and she said she didn't care about the history. It happened a couple weeks before I said that. I was saying it in reference to it sounded like the woman she had called, meaning like just like we all have accents. I had learned a study in college where someone had looked at different ethnicities and how their vocal ranges might differ, and I had said I believed she might be black. I I literally did not mean it negatively. I was trying to emphasize that, and it doesn't make it right. It doesn't. I fucking own it. I said it. I shouldn't have. It was 100% wrong. But I hate that we continue to have this conversation, and I hate that I put that doubt there because it always seems to overshadow, especially with the people who hate me, the fact that someone was willing to nickname their child the N word, and everyone around that person just ran with it for years and years and years.
Okay, can I say something? All right. What the problem that I have is the fact that you made a statement that was a biased statement, then you apologized about the biased statement, then you came back and made another biased statement, then you just stated just a few seconds ago that when wait. Then you just stated just a few seconds ago.
Auntie, you gotta mute up. Auntie, mute up.
Like I was saying, then a few seconds ago, you said that when someone came for you, you were provoked. In my opinion, when someone provokes you, then you show your true colors. You show who you are when you are provoked. So if someone provoking you, if that's what it brought out, then that's the part that concerns me, especially if you're here on a platform trying to teach about something that you're still learning.
I feel
And
like
to
I missed
be
a big
into
chunk of this. Mallory, did you say the Section 8 comment to a black person? I'm just confused as to,
It was
like,
Cartel.
She
oh,
did.
oh,
She did.
oh,
I
see, I
watched the
didn't,
video,
That's
and
what I'm
I ain't gonna
saying.
lie.
That's what
She
I'm
said it
saying.
several times in the video.
And
It
that's
was
my
a horrible
point.
video to
If you
watch. I
make
ain't
a
gonna lie.
statement, if you make a statement and it was truly indeed something that you genuinely, in your heart of hearts, you feel bad about, you learn from that and you try to move on and be better. And I get that because I make mistakes too. I'm human. I am human. But when you come down to bias is something that is ingrained. So you don't get to make a biased comment, apologize, and then say, oh, I'm bias free. No, you're not.
I never once said I'm bias free though.
Okay, I apologize. Maybe that
Leslie,
was an
that
incorrect
was me that
verbiage.
said she
You
was
did not
provoked. That was,
state that you were bias free. I apologize. But
and
my
that was me
statement
that
to
said
you,
she was provoked. That was me. And I also did not know that she said the Section 8 thing to Cartel. So that I understand where everything is coming from now. I did miss that part of the live because I
and
fell
that's
asleep
Right. See,
because
that's
Pastor
why I
gave me
was
out
saying
late.
what I was saying because you have the
That's
people
me.
on the
I've been quiet
outside
for a long
looking
time.
in.
Cap,
That's
cap,
my only
cap,
point. I'm
cap,
sorry. If you
cap.
make a
Oh, okay, that's
statement
fine.
and then you
But let me
come back and you
can I say
apologize and
something?
then you do it
She's gonna
again,
overtalk me, Pastor. She's gonna overtalk me because I've been quiet. Cap. Here's what the problem is. Someone is Cartel dehumanizes black women. Ain't nobody over there talking about that what that ninja say about black women. Now I've got footage showing what he says. Because I was confused at one point in time. How he disrespects, but I've
No,
never been
Cartel, the woman. No, the
please.
woman Cartel,
Oh no, I'm
Auntie.
talking about
Auntie,
cartel. I know who you're talking about. I'm talking about are we at home? Cuz are we
Yeah,
back?
but we on the
Can we,
video. We talking about
I
the
know, but
video.
I'm just saying what I see, what men and women do on this app. Because this is what the problem is. And I'm not caping for Mallory. Please do not misunderstand what I'm saying. But what happens when we hear how men and women degrade each other? How men and women that look like me, look at my information up. And you got a boy.
Auntie, I feel you, Auntie, but we ain't on that, Auntie. Come on now,
we're
But
talking
I'm
about the
saying,
don't go
Because I
left,
was
okay,
about to
Auntie.
say, I
Auntie.
agree
I
with
love you
Lauren.
down, but
Auntie,
that's
I
not
do
what we
agree
talking
with
about.
oh my
with the
God, let me
cartel
land my
dude.
plane. Let
I
me land
know,
my
but you're talking
plane.
about the wrong cartel,
Yeah, that's the
I
wrong
Auntie.
Ma'am,
genuinely
I
have
person.
know
a
there's two
question.
different cartels. You wouldn't
Okay,
let
I
me
genu-
land my plane
I love
because
you.
you're
Okay,
so gun
I'm
ho.
gonna let you rock. I'm gonna let you cook. Don't yell at me. Stop yelling at me. Love you. Bye.
I'm not yelling. It just aggravates me how when we want to victimize the individual that's doing the work, that's saying shit I gotta unpack. I don't see a lot of white folks standing in line 201 saying shit, I'm a racist. That I done said some racist shit. I don't see that. I see them hiding. I see them migrating and hiding. I see that a lot on this app. But for a woman to be transparent, to be naked I live, naked I stand, I messed up. I see her being dragged. Now, we can drag her, but she's saying, hey, teach me. Let me learn from my mistakes. She can't even learn from her mistakes. That's what gets me. But we in the community, that people that look like me, won't check a ninja that's doing the most heinous things on this app. And I'm not even gonna call out and put our business out there, but it is malicious. It's so malicious that I'm like embarrassed sometimes to say that that is a cousin or a family member. And I can't deny them because they look like me. That's all I'm saying. But
Well,
at least she's
respectfully,
And
on
Auntie,
here.
we
At
understand that,
least,
Auntie, but you still off topic,
at least
Auntie.
we
she's
sure do
saying
because
that.
I've been blocked from a
Hey,
lot of their
at least
platforms
she's saying,
because
let
of
me
speaking.
learn. Let me learn from
But
my
if we're gonna
mistakes.
learn, we can't keep making the same mistakes. And I think that's
Auntie,
what a
Thank
lot
you.
of people are trying
Thank
to
you.
get
Okay,
across. If we
okay.
are
Do
in a
you think
learning, hold on, Auntie.
Zay,
Hold
I'm
on,
talking to you.
Auntie.
Zay,
Hold
I'm
on,
talking to you. Do
Auntie. I
you
love
think
you
she's learning
down.
from it?
We can
Do you
sing
think she
together,
learned
but
from
we
it?
can't talk together, Auntie. I love you
Zay,
down.
do you think that she's learning from it?
Yeah, she's learning every day. I think we all are
Thank
learning.
you.
It's a
That's all
learning
I wanted you
experience
to
for
say.
everybody. But
Thank
if
you.
you
Okay.
continue to do the same thing over and over again, then people are going to start looking at you a certain kind of way. That's
Exactly.
the point that everybody is trying to get across.
That's
Nobody is
it.
trying to criticize her and put her down or anything like that. People are just saying it's a repetitive cycle. That's all. That's all, Auntie. And if she gonna learn about it and leave it alone. That's all. We love Mallory down, but it's okay to for a little bit of constructive criticism sometimes. We all learning. Every day
Yeah.
we all learning.
And that's what I wanted to say. Like, I came up here because the comments were like coming from me, Boots. And I just want to say I love Mallory. There is no like love lost there or anything like that. I just needed to say what I needed to say in order to continue watching her content. I had to get that off my chest. And I agree with what Petty said. I agree with what other people said, that she is the one that is coming up here and speaking on it. And she's catching strays left and right for that. And I can truly appreciate that. I think a lot of people need to stand up and do the same thing. And because there isn't anyone else doing that, Mallory's the one that's getting the heat for it. And because she's made mistakes, yes, I feel like she's may not be the best person, but if she's the only person, then goddamn, let her be the only person. So Mallory, I love you. I appreciate you. It was no harm, no foul, or anything like that. Continue doing the work, continue to listen, as I know that you are. And yeah, that's all I had to say.
Exactly. I agree, Daisy.
Can I just say,
I
sorry.
genuinely have a question. If and I live in Alabama, and I myself think that things need to be changed. I think things need to be taught, and a lot of that starts in the home. But my thing is, if you're on this app and you're trying to bring awareness or teach or learn others about history, anything, to me, it would be better if you had straight up facts on certain issues and things that maybe was a touchy subject. Go to people that you trust that might be able to help you knowledgeable wise to help you understand more to whenever you are doing your awareness page or shedding light, however you may be doing it. That way they can help guide you to hints where people's not getting misunderstood or things are getting misrepresented and somebody's getting a lot of backlash. Life is about trial and tribulation and learning, and that's how we grow. And I hate to say this, but yes, there are some sundown counties not too far from me, and that is so not right. We are all human. We all bleed red. Like my dad used to say, we all get in our pants the same way, one leg at a time. We all have a heart. We all have feelings, and all of our feelings are valid. But I do think before you start an awareness page, if it's something that you're not particular knowledgeable 100% or you have facts in front of you, don't talk about that subject until you have people there in the box with you that can help guide you through that conversation or if that question gets brought up. Because like I said, I live in Alabama and there's a lot of it that still gets taught. But it also
I'm
starts in the home by
I'm
teaching people.
know your everybody that's on the panel right now. I'm sorry, I gotta close out. We could talk about this when I come back later, a few hours, whenever. I gotta go because I got some appointments.
Thank you, Pastor, for letting us have this space, this
Yes, thank you for the
adult
opportunity.
dialogue. It was greatly needed.
You're welcome. If you want to do it when I get back, it's fine with me. We could because there's some stuff
Okay,
I'm
go
listening.
ahead.
Yeah.
All right, have a
All
good one. Thank you.
right. Later.